Today's best-known rule breakers in business are sharing economy companies like Uber and Airbnb. They keep winning happy customers, but most everywhere they go, established companies, ones that obey the old rules, get mad. And sometimes they get rule makers to ban the new businesses. Lots of cities ban Airbnb rentals. Producer Rikki Ratliff went to one of those towns to learn why.
Want to make a little extra money renting out a room in your home? Well, you can't in St. George, Utah.
St. George passed a law saying it's illegal to rent your home for fewer than 30 days. But wait a second. It's your home. Isn't that your castle? Can't you do with it what you want?
I found myself with a big house, underutilized asset.
Karina Palmer decided to rent her basement through Airbnb.
I want to use what I've got and what I own, and I want to leverage that.
Rikki checked out her ad and saw great reviews. This is my favorite place to stay in St. George. It's spacious, clean, and the nicest hosts.
If you look at our profile ratings, it's all 5 gold stars.
Hey, Rikki, you made it.
Hey, Steven.
You found us all right?
So Rikki decided to stay there. Stephen Palmer gave her the secret code to the door.
You just used your code that we gave you to get in. Come on in, I'll show you around.
Wow, this is big.
Yeah, so you've got the whole basement to yourself. It's locked off from the upstairs, so you won't have any kids coming down here at all. So this is kind of your kitchen area. You've got the microwave here. You can help yourself to any of the food that you find in the fridge.
He rents the house for less than $70 a night, and that gets renters a lot.
We've got the swimming pool over here. There's towels in the pool house, and if you were to have had kids, your kids are free to play on the jungle gym back there. There's a zip line on the jungle gym.
A zip line?
Yes.
Holiday Inn is a family-friendly hotel chain. But a room here costs much more, and they don't have things like a zip line.
I'm surprised that your mayor hasn't found a way to regulate this yet.
But why would the Palmers take the risk of renting to a stranger?
I could have been some crazy person off the street. Why did you guys let me into your home?
Because the sharing economy tells everyone what Rikki's reputation is.
Before you travel, you can chat with your host, so you're not meeting a stranger. And you can leave reviews for each other.
They get reviewed by other hosts, and so we see them, we know them.
I will always go through and read their reviews that other people have given on them and how good of guests they were.
Rikki was actually a bad guest because she didn't pay. Fox lawyers won't let us pay because her Airbnb rental is against the law in that town, and we're not allowed to break the rules. But why is the rental illegal?
This is your house. You own this property. Did you know that what you were doing was illegal?
Heavens no. When we started this, I never even thought to ask anybody. What free, loving American would even think to question, would this be legal in our homes? If you were a friend of ours and you would have come to stay in our basement, like, that wouldn't have been violating an ordinance. But if you were to pay me money, all of a sudden we're violating an ordinance?
Yeah, what's up with that? Rikki went to ask the mayor of St. George. He's in charge of enforcement.
I stayed at Stephen Palmer's Airbnb last night. They didn't charge me anything, so you can't arrest me. But what are the difficulties?
I haven't really seen any disadvantage to it personally, but I'm describing what other people feel. And some of them are saying, yeah, but there's so many, maybe there's more of a chance for a problem.
They'll rent 50, 60 people in them. So you have people sleeping all over the floor and cars all over.
Shane Whitmer runs 4 hotels in town. He says Airbnb renters could destroy the town's quality of life. One angry resident sent us these pictures. It doesn't show cars all over, but I can see why he got mad when this bus showed up. This is a big house owned by someone who lives elsewhere. But Steve says, I'm not an absentee landlord. We live in the house. We don't want our neighborhood disrupted.
We have kids in the home. We don't want late night parties. We don't want trash in the street. We don't want 15 cars parked in front of our house. We never allow that.
I believe Mr. Palmer's comment was, well, it's my house, I'll do what I want. I don't know that we can do that in America.
Really? The hotel man says Stephen and Karina can't do what they want with their own house?
It's just protectionism. All it is they're protecting their vested interests.
He wants to kill competition.
Exactly.
And you're his competition.
Exactly.
Has your bottom line really been affected with the introduction of Airbnb in this town?
Absolutely.
How much?
I can't put a dollar on it, but the idea that if you go onto Airbnb or some of these other sites and you see hundreds of listings each night, that's money that could have come to a hotel or a bed and breakfast or somebody who was paying that transient room tax. We welcome the competition. It's when they're operating illegally and not paying those taxes.
So the town demands Stephen get a business license before he rents.
I would love to get a business license. I would be happy to pay taxes, but I can't because it's illegal.
Catch-22. He can't pay taxes because renting itself is illegal.
You're operating in direct violation of city code. What kind of example are you setting for your kids?
I love that my kids help in this whole process. Well, they go down, they clean the basement, they're making the beds, so they're learning how to work. It's a great way for them to be earning money and to understand, principles of freedom and entrepreneurialism.
Shut up from the bottom. The example that I want to set for my kids is when the government says you can or can't do something, you don't just roll over and say, oh, well, the government has spoken, that's the way it is. Like, I've had so many people tell us when we started this process, well, it's illegal, and that's like as if that's the end of the story. And it's like, I know it's illegal. It's exactly why I'm going through this process to change it.
Why are you guys a bunch of rule breakers?
Somebody has to do it. I mean, I don't consider myself a rule breaker. I consider myself a freedom-loving American. And if I'm not violating the rights of somebody else, what right do you have to come and regulate my life?
None. Government shouldn't have that right. We're all indebted to rule breakers like Stephen and Karina.